Let's see. So this is probably going to be.
I think I saw the reflection.
Did someone else come in? Oh, watch it be Kyler. Watch it be Kyler. Okay,
Unless it was out in the street.
Okay, we got Kyler. It could have been someone turning around.
Oh, that's
well, I do have cameras. Let's see if the cameras work.
Billions.
Let's see. Oh, they're all coming up. Sanctuary thermostat's down, but it doesn't have internet.
It's a billion. 12 and a half.
Yeah, they're all working.
That doesn't sound like a lot. You're talking about billions. That's a lot.
Okay. All right.
You give me $500 million.
All right. You guys ready? Here we go. Like the gospel of Mark, and going through it here. So we kind of finished up chapter 4 last week. Like that's what we're doing. So, and we kind of started chapter 5 with the demon possessed man, but we kind of cursory went through all of that. So as we do chapter 5 today, the big thing for us to remember is that all these things are kind of compounding. We're talking about all the same stuff as we go through here. And so let's listen to chapter 5. All right. I remember what to do. It's been a stressful afternoon. I don't remember what to do. I'm not doing this correctly at all. Look at that. All ready to go. Everyone's so quiet, ready to learn.
Then they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes. And when he had come out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. And no one could bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains, and the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces. Neither could anyone tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried out with a loud voice, for he said to him,
"Come out of the man, unclean spirit!"
What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I implore you, by God, that you do not torment me.
What is your name?
My name is Legion, for we are many.
Also he begged him earnestly that he would not send them out of the country. Now a large herd of swine was feeding there near the mountains, so all the demons begged him,
"Send us to the swine, that we may enter them."
And at once Jesus gave them permission. Then the unclean spirits went out and entered the swine. There were about 2,000. And the herd ran violently down the steep place into the sea and drowned in the sea. So those who fed the swine fled, and they told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that had happened. Then they came to Jesus and saw the one who had been demon-possessed and had the legion, sitting and clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. And those who saw it told them how it happened to him who had been demon-possessed, and about the swine. Then they began to plead with him to depart from their region. And when he got into the boat, he who had been demon-possessed begged him that he might be with him. However, Jesus did not permit him, but said to him,
Go home to your friends and tell them what great things the Lord has done for you. and how he has had compassion on you.
And he departed and began to proclaim in the Decapolis all that Jesus had done for him, and all marveled. Now when Jesus had crossed over again by boat to the other side, a great multitude gathered to him, and he was by the sea. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue came, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet and begged him earnestly.
My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she will live.
So Jesus went with him, and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. Now a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years, and had suffered many things from many physicians. She had spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment.
If only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well.
Immediately, the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd.
Who touched my clothes?
You see the multitude thronging you, and you say, "Who touched me?"
And he looked around to see her who had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell down before him and told him the whole truth.
Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your affliction.
While he was still speaking, some came from the ruler of the synagogue's house.
Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?
As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue,
Do not be afraid, only believe.
And he permitted no one to follow him, except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and saw a tumult and those who wept and wailed loudly.
Why make this commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping.
And they ridiculed him. But when he had put them all outside, he took the father and the mother of the child and those who were with him, and entered where the child was lying. Then he took the child by the hand.
Talata kumi.
Which is translated,
Little girl, I say to you, arise.
Immediately the girl arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age, and they were overcome with great amazement. But he commanded them strictly that no one should know it, and said that something should be given her to eat.
All right. Little girl, I say to you, arise. Do what? Breakfast is ready. Yeah, there you go. Like that's all right. All right, we're back on this. Okay, so what stood out in this one? And remember, this is all we're all kind of in one thing here from what we talked about last week too. So what stood out to you in this one?
The 12 years and the 12-year-old girl.
The 12 years and the 12-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Like, so the woman who had the bleeding affliction for 12 years. And then, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So what do we think might that mean? What was 12 mean? Why are both of those 12? It's a good connection.
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know? Like that, you know, like you guys know anything.
That's Jesus' favorite number.
That's Jesus' favorite number. Yeah, you got the apostles. You got the 12 tribes of Israel. Like that. That's 12 has a connotation of all. So, like, I think some of you guys have heard me talk about this before, but so the biblical numbers, I'm a big fan of Bible numbers and kind of what they mean. But the way I look at them is they're kind of like emojis in text messaging. So when you use like a little, like you use like a thumbs up, like Elaine gave me a thumbs up today. Like that's like she gave me a thumbs up. Like, what does the thumbs up mean? Like we're pretty like, yeah, like, all right, good.
We're good to go.
Yeah, we're good to go. Like it doesn't have a definitive meaning, but you can speak around it like, okay, yeah, we're in agreement to what's going on. If you like that's the numbers in the Bible are kind of like emojis. They're giving off, I don't know, vibes, right? That's what they're doing, is they're kind of giving off an air about what they mean. I don't think it's like a definitive thing. So like 12 is giving off an air of like awe, like that. So you see this in like Revelation when it says the 144,000, will be saved. To like that idea there. 144 is 12 times 12. Like it's 12 times 12, and then you throw some tens in there. So tens, like you're adding zeros to numbers, are kind of like exclamation points. Like yes, like yes. And then 12s are kind of like all seven. It's like the 7 days of creation are kind of complete. The reason why the 12s are all is you have the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples, like that. It kind of has this distinction of complete. So you have this woman who's being afflicted by bleeding for 12 years, right? So that kind of has a sense of all the years, like that like she's kind of got this all the years thing. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and talk about what is her bleeding affliction. Does anyone know? Anyone want to guess?
Like why she's bleeding?
Yeah, what's bleeding?
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that's it's just
Like she's alone, I think.
yeah, like that's and
Well, I mean, she's like unclean, right?
exactly, Ashley, exactly. Because it's if you understand
Good stuff.
Jewish culture, if you understand Jewish culture, a woman in her time of the month was ceremonially unclean, like could not go and worship, could not go to the temple. Like this is all part of the law then. And then after that time is complete, to do a ritual cleansing, and then like could be part of all this stuff. So if you look at it through that lens, how does this woman view herself? She's not just, she doesn't have just a physical problem. She's not, it's not like she's got gout in her foot, like that. She, in her culture, she is ceremonially unclean. She cannot be close to God, like according to all the customs of the day and all those things. And so you think about, in David, you made a little quip a little bit, like maybe that's why she's alone. But yeah, like it's not just that problem, but it's so much more compounded when you put in there. I call this, when you look at things like that, you got to put on your biblical glasses, because that's not how we view things today.
No, it was the law back then.
Yeah, I mean, that was it, and that was it. And like when we watched The Chosen this summer, I think that showed us there were some times when we're like, oh, these guys are being petty for these things, but they were like, oh, gotta be clean, because if I touch you or anything like that, then I'm unclean. And they took all that stuff too far. So you have a woman who has probably tried everything that she can afford to rectify this problem, which makes sense. I mean, think about the amount of money we spend to fix our physical ailments, you know, like that. That's it. She's going through this, but it's also this thing where she has never been able to be close to God. So also during this, she's not allowed to touch anyone else because she would make them unclean.
So she's like exiled.
Yeah, yeah. So imagine what she's doing. She's like, here's my last ditch effort. There's this Jesus guy that we're hearing about. So she like puts on the Quasimodo like cloak and you know, and is kind of going out there. And if I can just get close enough to touch him, you know, and it's almost like it's like a touch and run. It's like, you know, it's like tag and then like go somewhere else type of thing. You know, like it doesn't seem like she wants to even have a conversation with Jesus. You know, she doesn't.
She's so used to being looked at like.
Yeah.
That like.
Yeah.
She's probably embedded in her brain like no one wants to be around me.
Yeah. So we have this woman who's all this stuff is going against her, and she's just trying to touch Jesus, and she does. And when is she healed? Immediately.
That's her faith.
Yeah. And so you see this. There's this in all the Gospels, but Mark especially, that it's this idea of the faith coming in, right? Like that the faith, like that she was just like, you know, I can if I can just touch, you know, like that's. And the faith, because Jesus says to her, let's see, where does he say, hey, you're healed? 34? Yeah. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go and be in peace and be healed of your affliction. What does that say in a non-King James English? Okay, yeah. Like that. Be healed of your affliction is. Like that, we should really bring affliction back. Like that, I should. Like that's my old shoes are causing my feet affliction. Like that. That's.
I think we should bring back that we're not allowed to be around anybody.
That sounds like a vacation now.
Yeah, like that. We just need to bring it back anyway.
Well, like sorry, I can't go to work this week.
Like that. That's the like that. That's funny. That's funny. and then do ceremonial washing. All this thing.
If I can have a week by myself, I'll take it.
And so what else stood out to you with that?
He
like
called
that's
her daughter.
Called her daughter. That's a good
He called her daughter. I mean, my knowledge of the Bible is not a lot, but
it sticks out. That's good.
I've never seen him. I've never heard him call.
Yeah. Why do you think he's doing that? Why do you think he's doing that?
To let her know that she's a child of God.
Yeah.
He is the father.
See, that's a good connection. Like I've always known that's there, but that's like you pointing it out. That's good. That's good. Because like if she was always not able to be close to God because of this issue, you know, like that now, like the daughter language.
A lot of time he uses like brother and sister.
Yeah. Like that, like the daughter, like that coming in close language. That's good. That's good. I like that.
As he said, she did have faith.
Yeah.
To fight, to just touch Jesus.
Yeah.
But she was, according to my understanding, I think she was looking for that as well. She knows if she touched Jesus, she's gonna be clean. She's gonna be rapidly.
Just to him.
Yeah.
Just to him. Yeah. That's it. Oh yeah, like the faith is a big part of it.
And him calling her daughter reassured her that her faith all this time was not in vain.
Yes, that's good.
Your faith is strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she realized when he said daughter to her, then she knew for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know all this is not for nothing, and this is what I've been waiting.
Yeah.
It's like a way of like I've known you this whole time. I've been there this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Like I like where your guys are heads are out. So I go back to my previous thing that I was making before about bad soil. Like I think she's bad soil. But
I think her seed got thrown on the concrete. she still found a way to grow.
yeah, like that's now when I say bad soil, like I'm not saying like lost cause things, because like, and that's kind of my whole point with this view that I have, is that Jesus is redeeming the soils. Like it's kind of no matter where you end up, you're not too far gone type of thing. Like that's kind of how I kind of look at it. You can disagree with me. Like, remember, you have every right to be wrong. Like that. That's like that. That's,
we know.
Yeah, we know. And so like that's so the woman with the bleeding issue comes in the middle of another story. What is that other story? What is that other story?
The little girl dying.
The little girl dying. And like who is what is her family? Like who are they?
Synagogue leader.
Yeah, synagogue leader. Like the big powerful guy. So what does it mean for him to seek out help from Jesus?
Lose some status or
yeah.
He's gonna have.
Like he's probably on his last option.
He knows that by doing this,
yeah,
he could be done with the church.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he doesn't even believe it. I mean, I don't know if this story's anywhere else in the Bible, but maybe he's like, he's healed his daughter. And he's like, you're still wrong, and we're still gonna kill you.
Jesus is like telekum, and then he's in the back. He's a witch. Is that what you're saying, David? It's evidence.
It's love.
Thanks for saving my daughter, but we still got to do it.
Like that's, but for him to even like to broach the idea of coming to Jesus, like it's and with the girl being so close to death.
Nicodemus.
It's like Nicodemus. Yeah. Like in what way? What'd you say?
Well, it's the relationship between being a Pharisee.
Yeah.
And believing in Jesus.
Yeah.
Nicodemus did essentially the same thing.
Like he's kind of Nicodemus came in the cloak of night type of thing, and is like, and he's talking to Jesus. Yeah, and this guy, and does he actually come to Jesus, or is it one of his servants? What happens here? Yeah. And so he's the one. Yeah, he's the one that's actually running to Jesus too. He didn't like go. He didn't go, Vicar, run, go get that Jesus guy. like he didn't do that. He did it. He ran himself. Which you get to a certain point in dignity, and you stop running. Like that's especially back then. Like you didn't, if you got to a certain part. I mean, like you think about The Chosen, like, and you got the Nicodemus character there. It would have been weird if we ever saw him running across the camp, right? Like, because you got to be picking up the robes, and you're doing the whole like running with the robe in front of you type of thing. You're holding it, anyway. Like it, yeah. Like that. That's all these little tassels are just blowing, and so he's the one that's actually come, and it's like, my little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed and she'll live. And so I love this is one of my, I love these stories so much. So they went along with everybody else. Now imagine, like, every time you've been rushing for like important something, and like all the traffic comes, and you're just like, it's like, get out of the way, and then like the woman that's bleeding happens to Jesus. And so Jesus just starts talking to this woman. It's like, you said you were going to come to my house first, Jesus. Like, that's, you can just sense this guy's frustration, kind of just coming through this whole thing. And then one of his, while Jesus, I love the way Mark writes, while he was still speaking, while he has stopped and isn't going towards that daughter, and he's talking to that woman, a servant comes up. It's like, don't bother, let's do it. Like that's rough. Yeah, don't trouble him anymore. Like, that's yeah. And so what do you think of the rest of the story?
Well, why couldn't she eat though?
Why couldn't she eat?
Yeah.
Because she was in a coma.
She was dead.
He healed
Just
her.
sleeping. Yeah.
He said, don't told them, oh, to give her.
Yeah, tell her to give her something to eat.
Excuse
Okay.
me, I'm sorry. I thought he said
Don't give her. Don't dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Yeah.
To tap in on that, I think when he says that, it shows his natural concern, because he could have just healed her. She could have got, and he could have bounced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But him saying that, I think it shows more. That's the human being part.
Okay.
The human part of him.
That's
Just like when he's hanging out with Simon and Peter and all that, they're laughing, telling jokes. It shows that it's a different side.
Yeah. So you're really like, that's yes.
Did the same thing with Peter's mother-in-law.
Yeah.
When he healed her.
Yeah. So he told so he did the same thing with Peter's mother-in-law. Yeah, he healed her too.
Said get her some.
Oh, did he tell Peter's mother-in-law to eat too? Let's look.
Maybe
That was in Mark, wasn't it? Like, is he telling? He's like healing people. It's like, give them something to eat. Was it in Mark or is that in Matthew?
I think we're getting Mark in.
Oh, no, it's here.
Is it?
It's chapter 1, verse 29 through 31. Oh, no. She got them something to eat.
Oh,
yeah.
She got them something to eat. She woke up and it's like, you guys need some food? I like that.
He was ready to rock.
Yeah. So one of the things with this, one of the concerns was starting to happen around here is you had kind of the first big Christian heresy was happening kind of very soon after all this stuff with Jesus. So it's not so much in the Gospels, but some of it is, but a lot of it is also in Paul's stuff. But it's talking against Gnosticism. I've preached about Gnosticism some. Do you guys know what Gnosticism is? Have you ever heard of it before? Like that's so Gnosticism it's the same Greek word same Greek word as where our word for knowledge comes from. And basically what this Christian heresy says, and it's still even around to this day, you can still hear flavors of it, is once I know enough, then I will be able to overcome all the things of this world and go to a better place. So where they see that is, and what Gnostics teach, is that the physical world is evil. Like all this stuff is bad. And that if we can be, and they use the resurrection language, the resurrected into the spiritual realm, then I'll finally be free of all these things that hold me back, and I will be able to bounce around with the Care Bears shooting rainbows out of my belly button. That's we over there. And some of you probably heard things like that, like where people are like, oh, if I could just be free of this meat sack, I will be better, and they localize. Have you guys heard anything like that, or ever thought anything like that from anybody? That's interesting if you haven't. That's cool. Your grandma said stuff like that?
Like your body's a shell.
Your body's a shell language? Yeah,
it's just carrying your soul, it's just
and like the soul is better than the body?
Just a vessel.
Like just a vessel?
A vessel, that's
like a vessel thing? That's Gnosticism. That's Gnosticism, because it's elevating the spirit higher than our bodies. Think about the time that the Bible uses to honor our physical bodies. This was created and it's good. It gets broken and hurt. We got sin in the world, but we will be resurrected. Think about all the accounts of Jesus' resurrection. They're always talking about how physical he is. Even when Jesus is doing miraculous things with his body and like appearing in locked rooms, he's like, touch my hands inside. It's all these physical things. So you have here, eat. She ain't no ghost,
When he does show up to the disciples, he's like, can I have some of that fish?
Yeah. He's eating. Like that, David. You're making faces.
You can't say. Oh, I know that some people are. Oh, like this is bad and this is bad.
Yeah.
But then you turn around and eat something. Well, that ain't that bad. Then if you need it to stay alive.
Yeah.
If you're so confident in leaving your meat sack behind and
yeah. Like that. That's
take a chance.
Take a chance. And like that's but that's, and so there are some Gnostic Christian anthems that are very popular in our culture. You ready? We got to clap for it. It's oh, fly away, oh Gloria, fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. That's a Gnostic hymn. Like that. That's, and is that a fun old banger? Yeah, it is. Like but it's that glorification of somewhere else. Like here is where the sauce is. Here's where it's at. Get up. Well, it's Curtis made the joke earlier. Tilakumi, tell to your daughters, breakfast is served. They're serving her, get her something to eat. Like it's really cool because it's so involved in the physicalness of it all. All right. So how much time do I have? I have enough. All right. So all these things I've been calling all these different stories, it's like the bad soils type of thing going here. The capstone one is this girl, and it's because she is dead. She's dead. And death is the problem. Like this is like the Christian teaching on everything. Death is the problem. And the reason why I make a big deal out of it, I got to be careful not to I think you've been a part of some of our things where I've almost stepped in it a little too deep. Like that's, I gotta be careful I don't step in it too deep. Oftentimes, we will treat death as the solution to the problem. If I can just die and be free of this, I'll be so much better. You know? I'm going to say something kind of rough, but hopefully in a couple minutes, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, like, you guys like the rough stuff. Like, they're over there, like, excited about it. Like, I'm going to say something kind of rough. It's about time. So death is the problem, right? So remember when they were created in the garden and the serpent tempts them, the big problem that comes in is death. So death is the problem. So here's where I step in, all right? When you die, you fully succumb to sin. That's why the resurrection is such a big deal. That's also why Paul says either height or depth, angels or principalities, or things present or things come, even death itself will be able to separate us from the love of Christ. Death is the problem. And so that's why when our loved ones die, we grieve. Because there is something deep inside of us that we try to cover it up and go, no, it's celebrations of life and we're okay. Like, no, we grieve, but we grieve as ones who have hope. Like our good friend Helga just died, you know? Like, that's the problem with being in this job here. I've been here for 10 years now. You start burying friends. When I first got here, we're just burying the old folks, you know? Like that's... Like that's.
When he said rough, I didn't know.
But you start after you've been here a while, you start burying friends, and you know, people that mean something to you, and that's a different emotion, and so we grieve that, but we grieve knowing that Christ's resurrection becomes our resurrection. Jesus wept, so. And Jesus Christ, when his friend Lazarus dies, which is in John, it's all right. It's all right. Which is in John, but when his friend Lazarus died, Jesus cries. I mean, that's my funeral sermon. If you guys come to Helga's funeral, that's probably what you're going to hear. Is about Jesus crying because Jesus grieves. Jesus doesn't just go, it's going to be okay, I'm going to make him better. He doesn't do that. You know? Like that's, which is often our sad version of handling this stuff. You know? It's okay. Like God had a plan. Don't say that when one of your friends is facing death. Don't say God needed another angel. Good grief, don't say that.
I prefer death is only the beginning. That's what I tell all my sick friends.
Yeah. But what's the one passage that I found a bulletin from my sister's funeral? Mm-hmm. And then
which I did.
Right. And then my grandma's. And it had the two same scriptures.
Yeah. I use a lot of the same ones.
Right. But they have it's like a thing, you know, but the second.
The Thessalonians one?
Yeah. And we too shall be gathered in the clouds.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. So, like, whenever we start talking about death, we always have to talk about this. So, okay, you guys ready? So, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, beginning with verse 13. Brothers and sisters, we do not want you to be uninformed about those who sleep in death, All right, so those have died, so that you do not grieve like all the rest of mankind who have no hope. So we don't want you to grieve like the rest of mankind who have no hope. For we believe that Jesus died, rose again, and so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him. According to the Lord's word, we tell you that we who are still alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, will certainly not precede those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will come down from the heavens with a loud command, a voice of archangel, the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and we will be with the Lord forever. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. So, that last verse there is important. Verse 18. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. There's a lot of times people use rapture theology and things like that to not encourage. They're like, if Jesus came back, you know where you go. Like that's not encouraging. Like that's therefore encourage one another with these words. What he's saying here is that it's not over. Like, I mean, I hate to admit it, but David's saying death is only the beginning. But it's not the end. It's not the end. That because Jesus died and rose again, his resurrection is connected to ours. It is connected to ours now. And so our hope in the resurrection is that we will see each other again. And what Paul is writing here, of all the cloud talk and all those things up there, he's not talking about spiritual things. He's talking about how when God comes back, like we will all rise again and we will be together again. Our communion service, when we do the long service, we really don't do the long communion service much here, if ever. But one of the things that we teach in the communion service is that all of the people of God are around that table at the same time. That we teach that all the people of God are there as the one body of Christ. That all of us are there. So you, like when we're having communion, you're having communion with your great grandfather. That probably said some unfortunate things on a boat on the way over here or something like that. Like that. That's like we're having communion with them, but you're also with people who haven't been born. Like that we're all coalescing, like all together. So we're having communion with all these people throughout all the world, but also all throughout time, all together, because we are the one body of Christ together around the body and blood of Jesus, the thing that gives us the resurrection. So I say all that. I'll say all that to say that according to Jewish understanding of things, because that's where I'm picking all this stuff up, death is the worst. Death's the worst. And this girl's dead. And so you have all of these things that progressively get worse. Remember the sea. Like think about what you didn't know a year ago about sea and all of that. So like the sea is a stand-in for everything that is evil that is in the world. And it's blowing all around, and Jesus is asleep on a cushion because he knows he's fine, and the disciples are like, we're going to die. Like that's, and he's like, peace, be still. And there's like, oh my goodness. Right. And then you have the guy filled with a whole army of demons inside of him. And I mean, that guy is not good, and Jesus is able to heal him, and the demons go into pigs, and the crowd and the town gets upset. By the way, that guy filled with demons is a Gentile too. He's not Jewish. Like that's a Gentile region. Like that's huge. That's huge there. And then we have the lady with bleeding for 12 years. Like it's bad. It's not just a little bit. It's bad. She is ceremonially not connected to God. And then you have the girl that is full on, can't get any worse than death. And he goes, little girl, I say to you, arise. And then give her something to eat. At least he didn't make her start serving everyone like his mother. Like that. That's it's like, we're Elizabeth, we're kind of hungry. Like that's
Couldn't have said be still like the ocean.
Yeah.
Already doing that.
And then notice what it says in verse 42. So he says, little girl, I say to you, arise. And immediately the little girl rose and walked. And she was 12 years of age. We'll talk about that 12 here in a second. And they were overcome with great amazement. There's that amazed word again. Remember we were talking about all the amazed words? The amazed word is a stand-in. Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about it with Clauber.
Immediately.
Yeah, you got those immediately. Oh, yeah, there's immediately there too? Yeah, immediately. Like John, Mark is just like, we're moving here. There's no time. There's no time. Immediately, she got up, walked around, and she was 12 years of age, and they were overcome with great amazement. In the Gospel of Mark, amazement is a sign of the resurrection. Like and you keep seeing these little signs where they're all amazed. So remember when the guy, Jesus said, your sins are forgiven, but I say to you, pick up your mat and walk, and they were all amazed, right? Like we're seeing that here. Like it's this foreshadowing of the resurrection, which as we get to the end of Mark, when the women run away, it's that same word. It says fear there, but it's the same root in the Greek. It's amazement. They run away with that amazement, like that, which is we're going to get there. We're going to get there. All right. Let me ask you guys a question. Why does it mention that she's 12 years old? Why does Jesus raises her immediately from the dead, and she walks around, and then it says, for she was 12 years of age? Why do you think? What's going on? Think about what you know about Jewish culture. What's it, or just old culture? You guys know it, but you don't know that you know it.
Is that like close to women adulthood, or like?
Yeah. Like it's basically it's like a bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. Like she's marrying age. What does marrying age mean back then? Like remember they view children differently than we do now. We actually like our kids now. And they liked our kids back then.
Really like them.
Yeah, like that's like, are you doing, is that like a Roman joke? Like that's but they like their kids. We treat our kids so much better than we used to.
I tell them that.
I was just about to say, can you tell me that?
Yeah. Like we do. I make the joke on Sunday all the time about it, but there's a cultural lexicon we're probably going to lose once we all get old and die from this table. We're probably going to lose this, but the whole idea of children are to be seen and not heard, like that. You guys are familiar with that phrase, yeah?
That doesn't exist anymore.
No. Like that's that idea though. That idea is much more the case how kids look, and it made sense. Childhood mortality was massive back then. Like I can't remember what the numbers are, but you're talking, it's like 50%. You get a kid to adulthood,
Probably.
Back then. So think about it through that lens. If you're flipping a coin, whether your kid lives or dies, and so think about how you would treat your kids if the kid could maybe die. Like, is it sad? Yes, it is. But it's different than how we view it today. Because there's almost a guarantee that your kid won't die today. It could. But it's a tragedy when it does. It's a huge tragedy. We treat child death way worse than we treat an adult death now. When you see that small coffin, it's like, oh, like that whole thing. It was so common back in the day. It was so common. And so this girl's 12. She could be married off next year. Like she's at the age, this sounds terrible. She's actually worth all the money that they've spent on it. Now, like there's all the time, all this stuff, like it's going to start paying for itself now. Like, and this girl, she's going to be able to be married next year. Like and there's a dowry associated with that. Like all these things. And so
they could form an alliance off her marriage.
Yeah.
Especially from his position too.
Yeah, from his position.
This is probably
Yeah.
going to be like a high profile type engagement.
Like like this story has, I love these stories because it has so many, the woman bleeding, when you know that she can't, and as soon as that's something where she's ceremonial and clean, you're like, oh yeah, I was aware of that. Or is that, you're like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, oh, well, like her being healed's a big deal, and then the girl and what she meant to that family at that time, and like she was almost there. It wasn't like some 3-year-old dying. It was a 12-year-old, like that's a rough way to put it. But like it's high. So, a big part of what we do in Haiti with Meshach stuff is dealing with infant mortality. The clinic, that's its number one job, is to help with infant mortality. Like so the kids can they live. Like one of the girls that we picked up, we always have these pictures of 2 girls that live down there at the orphanage that we have. When we got her, one of the reasons why we took her is that she had the whole bloated belly thing. Malnutrition. And she was 6. She was 6, like that's, and it's just, it's rough. And she's doing fine. And I'm sure she's into all kinds of mischief and, and just, is sassy, probably, and all that stuff.
I mean, when you don't have to worry about food anymore, you could be a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm sure she's that way. And to God be the glory. It's a glorious sass, like it's a glorious sass. And so like, that's one of the reasons why I look at this the way that I do, is that all of these get progressively worse. And I just think it's interesting that he's talking about the soils, and he just goes on this tear in this story. I think Mark is like winking to us, going, "You see what's happening?"
And that none of it's a problem for him.
Yeah, he's just doing it. Like he's not even like having to fire up like a Dragon Ball Z. He's like, oh, he's not having to do any of that stuff. Like he's just like, he's going forward and doing it. And I these are some of my favorite. This is my favorite section I'm going through here. Like I love it because Jesus is he's redeeming all these things that seem like lost causes, and it's beautiful. I don't know. What do you guys have any thoughts?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the reason why Jesus bring her back to life and then say she's just 12? And I want to know if it's because Jesus saw the family was very, very sad or knocked out regarding the death, or if it's a spiritual thing behind that bring her back to life.
So I think the guy was there. So there's 2 things going on. You have the words that are written down on the page. The words that are written down on the page are written down on the page, not for the reader to hear. And they're written down on the page for the reader to hear in the order that is delivered in the page. That's why I've kind of like, let's keep the crosstalk of the other gospels down to a minimum. You know, like that's so to go over there. I don't think this is a definitive list of everyone that Jesus healed. And I don't even know if these three things happened right in order. I think probably the woman bleeding, happened with him raising, how it's all written commingled together. I think those two. But I think Mark is editing the things happening to Jesus to tell us the story of Jesus the way he hears it. Because we don't know anything more about that synagogue leader than what we know. Than what we know. So like he comes up to Jesus and he's synagogue leader, so we can assume what it meant to be a synagogue leader in that day and time. So there was a prestige to that. He was probably, he was closer to the Sanhedrin or a Pharisee or something like that than anything else. We would know those things about him. But we also know that this guy, even though he's part of those things, he's running after Jesus, and he is running after. It's not even a servant is running after, and so he's running after, and then after Jesus is talking to the woman, and the servant of the synagogue leader comes up, and it's like, don't worry about it, she's dead. Don't bother him anymore. And verse 36 says, as soon as Jesus heard the words were spoken, he looked at the ruler of the synagogue, and it's like, don't go down on me, believe. Don't go down on me, believe. Like that. That's and he went in there, and he's like, it's like, stay outside except for you and you. Like that. That's and he mentions that he came into the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and he saw a tumult. What are the other translations translating that? 38, commotion, the tumult. We should bring that word back too.
Commotion.
Yeah, commotion.
Yeah.
Like that's and so all these people. So what would have been going on there? The tumult there, the commotion. They would have hired professional grievers during this time and day too. So so the way we handle death is you sit there, you wear black, and you cry, but you don't make a big show about it. Like you're allowed, you can cry, but don't get too cry, like hold yourself together, right? Like that's kind of how we handle it. So back then they would hire professional mourners, and so these guys would just start wailing and like oh, over there, and it was all meant to hide the family so that they could cry and weep, and so like that. So like that. So they would. There was a common practice back then. Like that's kind of what they did, and so that's what that commotion is. That's what that commotion is. So all these people. So you have all these actors, these paid actors, are like, oh, probably beating themselves with stuff, over there, and she's like, get out of here, get out of here, like that's, and he's like, well, why all this commotion? The child's not dead, she's asleep, and they're like, you're an idiot, dude, like that, like that, she's dead, and like that's like we're only brought in when they're dead, like, not a quarter dead. Not mostly dead, all dead, and so, when he put him outside, and then we get to the whole part. So I say all that to say, I think Jesus is telling him to believe, which is very similar to the woman that we talked about with Ron just a little bit ago, like very similar to the woman, and to believe. But I also think it's like Jesus is really like it's leaning into his power and ability. I don't know if that answered your question at all there. Like that's okay. That meant no. Yeah.
Your face said it.
Yeah, your face. Cassie will call you out. Watch out. The so like that it's, and we can talk about it more too. Like that. That's we can bring it up, but I think the answer lies in how Mark is writing this. He's writing it so that we can look at this and not choose to believe, but believe. It's like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. This isn't written.
Jesus didn't say she was 12. They just mentioned that the girl was 12.
I think so. Yeah.
I think they mentioned that because, I don't know, your child didn't, you got a child through childhood.
Yeah.
So now that she's back and she didn't die, that's the worst of the worst was a child dying, because a lot of kids were dying. Well, she didn't die as a child. She was 12, so she does die again. She didn't die as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made it through the 50%.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think that is saying when it says that she's 12, it's talking about what a tragedy it would have been and what a miracle that it was.
Yeah.
That it meant something for that family. Like that's, yeah. I mean, I think we have I would say a similar story would be to us, like someone in the Midwest when the tornado goes around the house.
Yeah.
And the house isn't destroyed. So anyway, all right. Anything else as the kids come in? Oh no, we're basically done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he want them to tell people again? Ooh. Like he just was saying to the demon guy, like, no, you can't get on the boat. Go tell people. And now it's like, don't tell people again.
So where is he not telling people again?
He commanded them strictly, no one should know it.
He's in a rough neighborhood. People,
Shut up, I'm asking you.
43. But he commanded them strictly that no one should know it, and said that something should be given to her to eat. So I'm not sure. Like it's so interesting to me. I know David's being funny, but I do think he's kind of onto something where you got all these people. Like I know I hate it too. I know.
I love it.
And so, but I do think there's people that want to kill Jesus.
And he's part of that group, the Jairus.
Yeah.
So
he's part of that group. Yeah.
Part of that group. So by that getting out, that even Sadducee or like what was he? A synagogue leader was going to Jesus. That would be a bad look.
Yeah.
For Jesus or for them, for the church, and then it would make that aggression. And again, he has this mission. He knows he needs to accomplish these things. So
yeah,
it's like that would put a speed bump.
Mm-hmm.
He's picking and choosing when he's not go because this neighborhood is cool. Go tell these people. Now I'm in a rough neighborhood. Don't tell no one.
And so I do think maybe neighborhoods, because I don't have a good answer for this, but I do think neighborhoods may be involved, because when he healed the demon-possessed guy, he was in a Gentile area. He was not in his own people's area, like he was in a Gentile area. So I think he's maybe doing that, and now he's in his own people's area. I mean, the next story is him getting rejected by his own people. Like even Nazareth, even Yeehaw Junction wants nothing to do with it.
The footnote in the study Bible says, in the vicinity of Galilee, Jesus often cautioned people whom he healed not to spread the story of the miracle. His great popularity with the people, coupled with the growing opposition from the religious leaders, could have precipitated a crisis to be
Yeah, like that. So they're coming after him. Yeah. No, that's good. I think that's a very likely answer, and it's a weird juxtaposition about how we normally understand, like, go out everywhere. Like it's a weird
quick would be.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Make
so
the story short.
Yeah. So that was good. That was good. What? Like that's. Is there anything else? Well, I enjoyed today's class. Hopefully you guys did. You guys got some fresh heresy on me, so that's good. Talking about death and all that fun stuff. If you want to talk more about that stuff, just let me know, because I know it's kind of a heavy thing. But when you get to the other side and you look that even when we fully succumb to sin, Jesus still doesn't leave us there. Like that's on the cross, he let sin fully. Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as you see it, suddenly the cross means something. Like that. That's Jesus is going and facing the very thing that we